Custom clearance at India's Chennai airport usually takes 30 hours for Apple. It was just 6 hours after all. The company was racing against time. Apple airlifted 1.5 million iPhones in 6 cargo jets from India, all to reach the US in time and beat the tariffs, and Apple was not alone. Companies across the globe scrambled to beat the clock. Their efforts may be futile right now because the tariffs have been paused and it gives them some time to breathe, but can they truly afford to rest? Our next report tells you.
It all started with an email, then another, then a flurry of calls from Sortino to Chennai and from airline hangars to government offices. Apple wasn't trying to keep its efforts secret, it was just trying to move fast, really fast. So on Wednesday the tariffs came into place. By night they were paused, but Apple didn't know about that, so they prepared for a contingency to move iPhones from India to the United States. The loophole was simple: any goods en route before the deadline would be exempt if they loaded on the plane. They're safe as long as it got going before the cutoff. So Apple wanted to beat the tariffs, and it did what only a trillion-dollar company can. It bought time. Reports suggest Apple stepped up production at its Foxconn factory in Chennai. It got extra workers and shifts were extended to Sundays. Meanwhile, the company lobbied authorities at the Chennai airport. The usual time for clearing customs is 30 hours. For Apple, it was just 6 hours. Reports suggest it was a green corridor arrangement. With all of this in place, Apple used 6 cargo jets, 600 tons of iPhones. That's around 1.5 million iPhones, and they weren't alone. Companies like Dell, Lenovo, and Microsoft sped up their shipments. They put pressure on the suppliers. The plan was to fly as many premium devices to the United States as possible. The focus was devices priced above $3,000. But not everyone has the luxury of a private air force, so across the globe's boardrooms lit up like war rooms. Shipping lines were flooded, ports surged with traffic. The world's largest supply chains were bent, twisted, and strained under the weight of the panic container. Ships handle about 90% of all global trade. They suddenly became VIP. Transportation rates from Shanghai to Los Angeles shot up 10% in a week. Ships that typically wait for full loads now left half-packed. That's because time was the enemy at shipping companies like MK. Executives fielded calls 24/7. Everyone was trying to reroute or expedite goods, but some companies could only watch the clock tick down. Japan's Nintendo delayed pre-orders for its long-awaited Switch 2 console. Jaguar Land Rover hit pause on US shipments altogether, and fast fashion giants Shein and TAMU faced a crushing blow: the end of the de minimis exemption. What's that? Well, until now the US had allowed the shipment of low-value items tariff-free, but that lifeline ends in May. For now, the tariffs have been paused. There's a 90-day reprieve, but for companies this wasn't a win, it was a warning, because the message was clear: the global supply chain is now a moving target. Policy can shift in a matter of hours. Exemptions can vanish overnight, and while Apple managed to outrun the deadline this time, most businesses can't rely on speed and scale. The 90-day window buys time but not certainty. If anything, it forces companies to reassess everything. Thanks for watching this video.